I don't think it's going to be a musical in the way people might imagine when they first hear that term for a film. What's up YouTube? Welcome back. Nice to see you guys. I want to share something, a really quick update today, DC related. But if you're new to the channel, thank you for checking it out, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video before you leave today. So today's update is DC related and comes from the Joker 2, the Joker sequel, Folie à Deux. I don't know if I'm saying that right. If you speak French or you are French, I apologize. Of course, starring Joaquin Phoenix again coming back for this role, and the addition of Lady Gaga playing Harley Quinn, which I think is going to be really interesting to see. Not necessarily good, bad, or indifferent, but it definitely was an interesting choice, I think, for the role of Harley Quinn. But today, the update is that we have our first poster for the film. Todd Phillips did share this, and of course it's being passed around social media. The date for the first trailer was also announced with the release of the poster for April 9th. So in about a week from today, at the time of making this video, we'll get the first trailer. Right, so on this poster, very interesting. I think I love the green hues. They're in a dance pose. He's dipping her. She also has the Joker smile makeup on her face. Not everything as much as Joaquin's character has, but the mouth for sure. And we've seen some other pictures from like set and behind the scenes and close-up pictures that Todd Phillips has shared where she also has the smeared makeup on her, around her mouth. I also like the way they put the title of the film up in the corner, the Joker, and then it says the world is a stage in English underneath, but then in French they have as extensions of the other letters that says Folie à Deux. So I think that was an interesting way to place the title on this poster. I've said so many times on the channel, I'm a fan of like simple, clean character posters, and so I like these kind of posters a lot that are just like really cool color hues and color schemes, and then, you know, a simple one or two character focus, not a whole lot going on. I do like other types of posters too, with like more characters and, you know, action posters, but I really appreciate simple, clean, just captivating single character or two character posters like this. The movie does come out in October, so towards the end of the year. First of all, I think let's kind of go back to the first one a little bit. The first one I think was such an interesting take on the character from Todd Phillips, from Joaquin Phoenix. Very unique film for this character. I totally am not surprised that, you know, what Todd Phillips said about the studio, quote, not getting it. Took quite a bit of convincing on his part for them to understand. They didn't understand where he was trying to go with this character, what he was trying to do, his interpretation of what he wanted to do. And knowing the previous leadership at Warner Brothers, I am not surprised that they were like, what? That doesn't make any sense. Who's going to get that? No one's going to like it. But how wrong did he prove them? I mean, this movie was low budget, made a lot of money, got tons of recognition and applause and awards, and Joaquin Phoenix was fantastic. His performance was amazing. There was twists, there was unexpected things. It was tragic and sad, and it was a lot of things in this movie. It was emotional, it was deep. So I'm very happy that this movie was successful, the first one. I do think it's interesting that it's getting a sequel. I mean, I guess the end of the first movie kind of left some things open to interpretation in a lot of ways. So in that way, I could see why it's getting a sequel. But at the same time, sometimes when movies just have a certain thing to them, I don't know how to explain it or describe it, but some movies you don't necessarily expect a sequel for because they're kind of just good the way they are. I don't think it's a bad thing that it's getting a sequel, I think it is slightly surprising, but it did make a lot of money and get a lot of praise and attention, so that kind of makes sense too. Like I mentioned earlier, I think the choice of Lady Gaga is pretty surprising. I know she's been in films before, but, you know, for this role in particular, I'm very interested to see how they portray her and what the take on her character, how the take on her character is going to be, because obviously, I mean, I'm expecting it to be quite different from like the iteration from Margot Robbie. Margot Robbie is very like comic book accurate, animation accurate, you know what I mean? That's the version that we get from Margot Robbie. Now, this obviously, I think is going to be very different because the take on Joker is different in this film. It's just a different thing here. So I'm interested to see kind of their relationship and how they connect and the whole story with her character and all of that I think is going to be interesting. We've also heard that this movie is a musical, but there have kind of been some clarifications about that from people that, you know, are involved with the movie. Not necessarily a musical, I think, in the way a lot of people are imagining. There obviously are going to be musical numbers and performances in the movie, but even the first one had a little hint of that in some ways. Like Arthur performed a lot in different ways. Like he would dance and dance down the steps, and he danced in the restroom. So there were some aspects of that in the first movie. I think this one's just going to have more like song, and I think it's going to be, I don't think it's going to be a musical in the way people might imagine when they first hear that term for a film. But obviously with the trailer coming out soon, we'll have a much better idea of what they mean by that when we see some, you know, our first look at the movie. I want to go ahead and share that update on the channel. I'm looking forward to the trailer. I think it's going to be interesting to see how this, you know, the direction they're going with the second movie. Let me know your thoughts down below. Anything specific you're, you know, looking forward to from the trailer, or any thoughts you have on this movie coming out later this year. And you guys know I love doing trailer reactions, so I definitely would like to do a trailer reaction for this movie next week as well. Meantime, yeah, thank you guys for watching. Check out anything you might have missed recently on the channel, and don't forget to check out the shorts section. I appreciate all the support. Links in the description down below for my Amazon storefront as well. Yeah, like, share, comment, subscribe. Thank you guys. See you next time.